So this is a great like theater rom-com.
Yes.
So what's your favorite theater snack?
Okay, you might not have heard of them, but they're called Maltesers.
From a small-town Texas dreamer to a global superstar, Kelly Clarkson's life sparkles like a fairy tale. But behind the chart-topping hits and dazzling smiles lies a hidden story of heartbreak, betrayal, and a fierce fight to reclaim her soul. What secrets unraveled her seemingly perfect marriage? How did she transform pain into power? Dive into the untold journey of a woman who rose from the ashes stronger than ever. She was a small-town dreamer with a voice that could shake the heavens. Kelly Clarkson, the first American Idol, burst onto the scene with raw talent and an infectious spirit. But beneath the spotlight's glow, a storm was brewing, one that would challenge her heart and resilience in ways no one saw coming. What unraveling secrets led to the collapse of her picture-perfect marriage? And how did she rise from the ashes to redefine her legacy? Let's dive into the untold story of Kelly Clarkson's journey from a Texas stage to global stardom and the personal battles that shaped her. Back in May 2002, a 20-year-old from Burleson, Texas, stepped into the chaotic world of a brand new reality show called American Idol. Kelly Clarkson wasn't just another contestant. She was a force, her voice carrying the weight of dreams bigger than her small-town roots. The show was a mess in its infancy, with producers scrambling to figure out the format. Contestants were often left to fend for themselves, like the time they were dropped at a mall and told to pick outfits for national TV. Kelly, with zero fashion know-how, laughed years later about grabbing white pants that screamed cocktail waitress more than pop star. But when she opened her mouth to sing, none of that mattered. Her raw power and authenticity won hearts instantly. Could this unpolished gem really outshine the competition? On September 4th, 2002, at the Kodak Theater, now the Dolby, Kelly stood under the spotlight as the first ever American Idol, clinching 58% of the vote against runner-up Justin Guarini. That moment wasn't just a win for her. It launched a cultural juggernaut that would dominate TV for decades. Her victory was a spark, igniting a career that would redefine pop music. But what did it take to turn that spark into a wildfire? Fresh off her win, Kelly inked a deal with RCA Records, guided by music titan Clive Davis. Just 2 weeks later, on September 17th, 2002, she dropped her debut single, a double A-side featuring Before Your Love, and A Moment Like This. The latter was pure magic, soaring to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and shattering a 38-year-old record set by the Beatles for the biggest chart leap. It wasn't just a hit, it was the best-selling single of 2002 in the US, marking Kelly's arrival as a global sensation. Her voice, a blend of soul and grit, resonated with millions. But could she sustain that momentum? In April 2003, Kelly unleashed her debut album, Thankful, a vibrant mix of pop, R&B, and gospel that showcased her versatility. With heavyweights like Diane Warren and Babyface in the studio, the album was a triumph, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200 and selling over 4.5 million copies worldwide. It went double platinum in the US, platinum in Canada, and gold in Japan and Australia. The lead single, Miss Independent, stormed the top 10 in multiple countries, proving Kelly was no flash in the pan. Another track, The Trouble with Love Is, found a second life in the hit rom-com Love Actually, cementing her cultural footprint. Billboard named her the 10th biggest female artist of 2003, a remarkable feat for a reality show rookie. Yet, with every high comes a hidden challenge. What hurdles were waiting just out of sight? Success didn't come without stumbles. In 2004, Kelly took a risky leap into acting with From Justin to Kelly, a musical romantic comedy co-starring Justin Guarini. The film was a disaster, panned by critics and ignored by audiences. Kelly later confessed she was roped into it by her American Idol contract, a decision she regretted deeply. She quickly distanced herself, pouring her energy back into music. That same year, she hit the road with Clay Aiken for the independent tour, connecting with fans through electrifying live performances. She also dipped her toes into TV, playing Brenda Lee in American Dreams and appearing on Mad TV. In December 2003, she represented the US at World Idol in London, placing second behind Norway's Kurt Nilsson. Though she wasn't thrilled about competing again, her grit shone through. But these early tests were nothing compared to the personal storms on the horizon. In 2006, during a rehearsal for the Academy of Country Music Awards, Kelly crossed paths with Brandon Blackstock, a talent manager with a magnetic presence. Their first meeting was fleeting, a casual brush of fate. Years later, they reconnected, and this time, something clicked. A friendship bloomed into romance, and by December 2012, Brandon was down on one knee. Kelly, swept up in love, said yes. In October 2013, they tied the knot in a heartfelt ceremony, blending their lives and families. Brandon brought 2 children from a previous marriage, and soon Kelly and Brandon welcomed their own, daughter River Rose in 2014, and son Remington Alexander in 2016. To the world, they were a dream team, all smiles and shared dreams. Kelly gushed about Brandon, calling him her soulmate, the kind of love she'd never known. But was their fairy tale romance too good to be true? Behind the scenes, cracks were forming. Kelly, juggling a skyrocketing career and motherhood, began to feel a quiet loneliness. In a 2025 interview with Kylie Kelsey on the Not Gonna Lie podcast, she opened up about the weight of being a working mom, hinting at the isolation she felt even in her marriage. The demands of fame, parenting, and a partnership that wasn't what it seemed took a toll. By June 2020, after nearly 7 years, Kelly made a heart-wrenching choice. She filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The decision wasn't sudden. It was the culmination of years of unspoken struggles. The legal battle that followed was grueling, with disputes over custody, spousal support, and their cherished Montana ranch. Yet, Kelly's story doesn't end in heartbreak. As the curtain fell on her marriage, Kelly Clarkson faced a new chapter filled with legal battles, personal revelations, and a journey toward healing. By late 2020, a judge's ruling handed her primary custody of her children, River and Remington, offering a bittersweet victory amid the chaos of divorce. The Montana ranch, once a haven of family memories, became a battleground. Brandon pushed to claim a share, but the court stood firm, awarding it solely to Kelly. Even then, closure was elusive. Brandon lingered on the property until June 2022, when he was finally ordered to leave. The drawn-out struggle tested her resolve, but Kelly was already forging a new path. What bold step would she take to reclaim her identity? In February 2022, Kelly made a deeply personal choice. She legally changed her name to Kelly Brienne. This wasn't just a formality. It was a declaration of independence, a way to shed the weight of her past, particularly the shadow cast by her father, Stephen Michael Clarkson. Their relationship had been fractured since she was 6 when he walked out, leaving a wound that shaped her life and art. Attempts to reconnect over the years fell flat, and Kelly eventually accepted that some doors stay closed. Yet, she turned that pain into something beautiful. Her song, Piece by Piece, lays bare the ache of abandonment, its lyrics tracing the sting of a father's absence and the fleeting hope of love that stays. How did this heartbreak fuel her creative fire? Kelly poured her soul into her music, transforming personal turmoil into universal anthems. In June 2023, she unveiled her 10th album, Chemistry, a raw exploration of love's highs, heartbreak's lows, and the slow climb toward healing. Critics called it a career-defining work, praising its unflinching honesty and her powerhouse vocals. The album wasn't just a release, it was a catharsis, a way for Kelly to process her divorce and share her journey with fans who'd faced their own struggles. Her resilience shone through, and in 2025, she kept the momentum going, teasing a new single, Where Have You Been? Recorded in her Montana hometown, Country Living. This track, set to drop later that year, promised another chapter of her story, proving her creativity never wanes. What new heights was she reaching? Beyond music, Kelly sought a fresh start. In 2023, she packed up her life and moved with River and Remington to New York City to film the 5th season of The Kelly Clarkson Show. This wasn't just a relocation, it was a rebirth, a chance to leave behind the ghosts of Los Angeles and embrace a vibrant new chapter. In New York, she found joy in the chaos, balancing her role as a single mom with her thriving career. Her talk show, a beacon of warmth and humor, celebrated its 1,000th episode in 2025, a testament to her connection with audiences. Hello Magazine. Kelly prioritized her children above all, ensuring they felt loved and secure. When they voiced their wish for her to stay single, she listened, focusing on their bond and open communication. Could this new city spark a new era for her? Kelly's career, meanwhile, was a masterclass in staying power. With over 100 #1 hits across Billboard charts, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and sales topping 25 million albums and 45 million singles, she's a true icon. Her versatility sets her apart. She's the first artist to conquer pop, adult contemporary, country, and dance charts, a feat that underscores her universal appeal. VH1 ranked her 19th among the greatest women in music, while Billboard named her the 11th most successful female artist of the 21st century in 2025. Simon Cowell, her American Idol mentor, insists her success stems from raw talent, not the show's platform. American Idol was lucky to have her, he said, a sentiment echoed by The Hollywood Reporter, which called her the perfect pop star. Her influence ripples through the industry, inspiring artists like Demi Lovato and Kelsea Ballerini, who credit her authenticity as a guiding light. Kelly's impact in the 2000s reshaped pop music, particularly for women. Unlike peers who leaned into hypersexualized images, she embraced a relatable girl next door vibe. Her 2005 MTV Video Music Awards performance of Since You Been Gone was a moment of empowerment, with minimal flash and maximum heart. She refused to be a manufactured pop product, co-writing her music and defying industry norms. Billboard's Mickey Rapkin compared her vocal prowess to Aretha Franklin's prime, while Time magazine noted her underappreciated influence on pop's evolution. Fox, the network behind American Idol, credits her with giving the show legitimacy, paving the way for future stars. Her early albums, Thankful and Breakaway, sold 10 million copies combined, cementing her as a force. But what makes her legacy truly enduring? Her authenticity is her superpower. Kelly's unfiltered honesty, whether in her music or her candid social media posts, makes her a role model for fans and artists alike. She's inspired a generation, from Vanessa Hudgens to Avril Lavigne, who admire her fearlessness. In country music, stars like Priscilla Block cite her as a trailblazer for blending genres with heart. Even as she navigates personal challenges, Kelly's humor shines through, like in her 2024 holiday album, Visualizer, where a cheeky nope stocking hinted at Brandon's absence, a playful nod to her new reality. Her ability to laugh through pain, create through loss, and connect through vulnerability sets her apart. Kelly Clarkson's journey has been a tapestry of triumphs and trials, weaving together raw talent, unyielding grit, and a heart that refuses to dim. From the ashes of personal heartbreak, she's built a legacy that resonates far beyond the stage. Her story, now unfolding in its final act, reveals not just a superstar, but a woman who channels her pain into purpose, touching lives through music and compassion. How did a small-town Texas girl transform her struggles into a force for good? Let's uncover the roots of her extraordinary path. Her voice has always been her superpower, but Kelly's heart shines just as brightly through her tireless work for others. Back in 2007, she took the stage for Idol Gives Back, a fundraiser aimed at lifting communities out of poverty in the US and Africa. Her soulful rendition of Up to the Mountain, alongside guitar legend Jeff Beck, wasn't just a performance, it was a rallying cry, stirring hearts and wallets alike. That same year, she lent her voice to the Live Earth concerts, a global call to action on climate change, proving her commitment to causes bigger than herself. Could her passion for change match the power of her vocals? Kelly's philanthropy runs deep, rooted in personal connection. As an ambassador for the March of Dimes, she didn't just sign checks. She walked miles for their March for Babies campaign, championing healthier futures for mothers and infants. Her work with House of Hope in South Africa took her across the globe to meet children impacted by HIV and poverty. There, she offered not just funds, but time and love, later pouring her emotions into a benefit concert, A Night for Hope, where her song You Still Won't Know What It's Like captured the raw weight of their stories. Her efforts didn't stop there. She's backed Save the Children, UNICEF, Stomp Out Bullying, and the Save the Music Foundation, ensuring music education thrives in schools. But what drives her to give so much? Her love extends to creatures great and small. On her Texas ranch, Kelly created a haven for over 80 animals. Goats with missing limbs, blind dogs, horses battling illness, nursing them back to health, and finding them forever homes. In 2013, she performed for the Opportunity Education Foundation, advocating for global access to education, a cause close to her heart. She partnered with State Farm's Celebrate My Drive to promote safe teen driving and joined Feeding America to fight child hunger. Her trip to Peru for Green Mountain Coffee's Choose Fair trade campaign saw her walking coffee farms, spotlighting ethical practices. Each act reflects a woman who sees fame as a tool for change. How does her past shape this relentless drive? Kelly's story begins in Fort Worth, Texas, born on April 24, 1982, to a teacher mother, Jean Ann, and an engineer father, Stephen Michael Clarkson. With older siblings, Jason and Alyssa, her early years were filled with simple joys until a fracture split their world. At 6, her parents' divorce scattered the family, Jason to their father, Alyssa to an aunt, and Kelly to her mother. The separation left scars, but it also forged her strength. Her mother's remarriage to Jimmy Taylor brought new dynamics, yet faith anchored her. Raised as a Southern Baptist, Kelly found solace in church, attending twice weekly and leading the youth group. Her spiritual roots ran deep, offering comfort through life's storms. Could these early challenges have sparked her resilience? School was where her voice found its wings. At Pauline Hughes Middle School, a chance hallway hum caught the ear of choir teacher Cynthia Glenn, who urged Kelly to audition. Compared to her American Idol days, she's evolved from a raw talent to a multifaceted mogul. Yet her relatability endures. Her story teaches us that pain can birth purpose, and authenticity is timeless. As Kelly continues to shine, what new chapters will she write? Share your thoughts below, and let's keep celebrating this unstoppable star.